The key to success in negotiation is preparation and research. As we look at this graph here, that top line is when someone comes into a company that has negotiated their salary. The red line below that is the earning potential of someone who has not negotiated their job offer when they start with the company. So, what you can see here is a very big gap of missed opportunity. Your actual earning potential when you negotiate is so much better. That number you walk in with is really indicative of your future earning potential. It's also expected in our culture here today that you will negotiate. For that reason, many hiring managers and HR professionals leave some money on the table, so to speak, with the assumption that you will negotiate and they'll increase your offer package. So you want to do that so you're not leaving any money on the table. But also, when you negotiate, you're setting that precedent of being a high performer. You're going after what you want and need and justifying it. And you're coming in as a high performer with a high performer attitude and presence as long as you negotiate the right way. So, we are going to negotiate every single time, every offer, because we want to increase our earning potential at the company and throughout our career, and also be seen as that high performer. So, let's talk about the importance of your numbers. This is critical. What do you want and what do you need are two different things in a few ways. And it's important to know these numbers to set yourself up for success in your job search process and your negotiation process. First, we'll talk through when a negotiation starts. Many people tend to think that it starts when an offer comes in, but it actually starts much earlier than that. It starts when you apply. As soon as you put your numbers into that application or have that first conversation, that's when the negotiation starts. In order to start with success, you need to know what your numbers are. These numbers will guide you throughout your entire interview process. We call this number your compensation range. Your compensation range is going to be the number that you use for every single job that you're going after. We'll use real numbers for this. This is what we actually need for a compensation range. It's going to be a range of about 15,000, and I say between 10,000 and 20,000, with 15,000 being that sweet spot, so to speak. The first number in your range is your low end number. The low end number is truly your bottom number. This number covers your bills and your needs. It's a number where you cannot accept a job that's below that number. We're going to be very honest about what our low end number is because we know immediately that if an offer comes in below our low number, we have to say no. So this is our true number that we know we will have our necessities covered at this low end number. In the middle of this range, we have what's called our sweet spot. This is that ideal sweet spot or earning point where we feel really good about the number. We feel excited to go to work. And we know that not only can we cover our bills, but that we have a bit of a cushion here as well. In other words, this is a very comfortable number for us. It's our sweet spot. Finally, we have our high end. This is our jump out of bed happy number where we feel very excited to go to work with this number. So knowing this, you will, as a next step, figure out what your numbers are. You will use that range between that $10,000 to $20,000 to create it, and you'll probably have something in mind for that. However, if your current numbers might not be based on your real data right now, or might be out of line in some way, we need to make sure that when we're negotiating an offer, our compensation has legitimate standing versus a number that we have completely made up. So we need to figure out what our number is. Now, this is not the amount we've made in previous jobs, or simply the amount we hope to make, or what a friend or colleague told us we should make. Instead, this range is based on a few steps. The first step is that you have to do your research. Here, you can talk to relevant content experts or managers that are in the industry or the role that you're working towards. Or you can go to a website such as Glassdoor or PayScale to view research on how much money you should expect based on your background and the role that you're working towards attaining. What you see here is a snapshot from PayScale for a marketing manager in Atlanta. Using this resource, you can use many different parameters to narrow down your range and give you the most accurate estimate. The fewer criteria that you use, the larger the range is going to show. This can be narrowed down based on your experience, education, location, etc. But what this allows you to do is research what people are actually being paid in that role with your qualifications, years of experience, and location. The next step is to take a deep breath and get real about your own personal numbers and range. As I mentioned, it's not what your current or previous salary was. That information isn't nearly as important as the market rate. You want to aim to make your number justifiable and reasonable. We come out much stronger in a negotiation when we come from a strong position. And to be in that strong position, it comes from research and justifying the rate. We may have been overpaid or underpaid in our last role. So this research process is very helpful for us to understand what that market rate is. Finally, you will create that recommended range for that $10,000 to $20,000 based on this research. However, one more thing to think about is total compensation. Remember, your job offer is more than just a base salary. This is even more relevant for sales professionals or others who heavily rely on a bonus structure. You will want to use your sweet spot number as your starting point and then range down for your low end and then range up for your high end of that range. So the next steps are to do your research and to create your personal salary range for your job search.